So here's our system called Alfred 360. You hit login, and that's the front dashboard of the system. It tells you welcome to dashboard. Hello, the lending. The lending is the username basically right now. So we can change this email address. I don't have anybody's email address from your site, so it's mine right now. We can change. You guys can also change it whenever we hand over the system to you guys. So this system is very simple in terms of giving access badge to somebody to access the gate, pools, or gym, or other recreation facilities wherever we have a card readers. The first thing that we're gonna learn in this system is how to build a profile. Then we're gonna learn how to build the card. And in the end, we're gonna associate that card with the built profile. So pretty much it's a three-step function. First, you have to create a profile. It means a resident profile, whatever the name and stuff like that. That profile stuff is done on the very first tab, which is called system setup. When you click the system setup, you have multiple other functions. You're going to click on the profile over here. And you can see we have created some profiles before when I was there working in the lending. So those something like we have 16 people in the list right now, and they are active right now. So to build a new profile, all you have to do is click on this plus sign. When you click on this plus sign, you have to fill up this information. Every information with the red star is mandatory. You have to put some value in there. Otherwise, it will not take it. It will give you an error. So today we're gonna enroll a profile. I'm gonna just name this profile as a test Nextlar profile, or let's create that on my name. Actually, let's say the first name is Steve and the last name is Nazim, and I will put my contact information number over here. The number that whatever the number we're gonna put it in this information, this will reflect on the touch screen outside the gate, and whenever the person can click on my name, this number will get dialed. So this is an important number to put it into the profile. Now, if you have a resident over there and they don't want to display their name, you guys can simply put their unit number or something like that, because I have other properties where people does not like to display their name. So you can just go by unit number or house number or trailer number. So anything in the first name and number in the last name. So once you put the first name, last name, contact number, the type will be resident, employee, temporary, contractor, or others. So for example, if you have employees, you're building a card for the office, that can be employees. In case of resident, you just select resident. This field just gives you the ability to sort people out in a better way. Otherwise, it does not do any function on the report side. It's just a categorizing the list of users that we have. In the address, if you're doing the resident, for example, I'm going to put my address in there. So I'm going to just put a random number over here. So I'm going to say 1121 house. Email address is not 100% that you have to put it in there. It's not mandatory. You can just put it if you want to. If you don't want to, you don't do it. But highly, highly recommended, because all the other properties that we have, it's very useful whenever you are trying to send a bulk email, stuff like that. You can always get that information from our system. So highly advised to get the email address of the resident. So that's going to be the best method of communication with them if any notification needs to be sent. We select the user group. I have another group called gym and pool. I will go over with you in the end how the grouping is done and how the rights and access groups are made and what type of access groups and why we made that. So right now I'm giving a group called the lending. The lending means all the doors, all the time, kind of like a master key. Once I complete all the information of the profile, I'm going to hit the save button and the profile will be saved on over here, right here. So if you look into the details of the profile, I don't have anything right now. I don't have any cars. I don't have any license plates in there. But that's the first step to create a profile. The second step is to create a card number. So for that, you will be clicking under the system setup. There is a card and tag. It says card and tag because we can also put a UHF reader, which is a windshield tag reader, like a tool tag. And that tag number can also enter in the card field. So you can either enter the card number or a tag number right here. So once you click that, on the right-hand side, you can define your new card. You just have to click the same plus sign which you did it on the profile, and you will see a new pop-up in there. And it says enter the UID and enter the card number. The UID and the card number is the same thing. You just have to repeat the card number into the both columns. So
is that card number right on the key fob itself?
It is, yes. There is two types of number which a card carry. One is the card number itself, and one is the facility code. The facility code is actually a code for the entire batch, which will be provided to you guys when we will deliver the batch to you. That is not mentioned on the bag or on box. We will let you know what facility code is that. It could be from 1 to 3-digit number. And then the rest of the 5-digit number is the card number. So for example, if I'm going to write, I got some 50 test fobs over there for you guys. And those numbers are 180 is the facility code. And the card number is 00. I will just try to create one. I don't have it in front of me right now. So I will say 1. So 180 is the facility code, the first 3-digit, and the last 5-digit is the card number. So I'm going to copy this number and enter it into the card number and hit save. This is the second step. And now our card number is entered into the system. If you need to search it, you just can press 111, and that's your card number right here. As you can see, the flag is not assigned. It means we entered the card into the system, but it's not going to do anything because it's not been assigned to anybody. So if somebody take this fob and show it to the reader, it will say access denied. And so right now, the third step is to associate this card with the profile that we created. For that, you're going to go to their second tab, which is called access, and you're going to hit the card or tag mapping. You're going to click that. You're going to have a same plus sign in there. That's the third step. You're going to select the card number. The only card number reflecting here is the one which is not assigned. So for example, if you entered 5 card numbers in a single time, all those 5 cards are going to be displaying over here, and you can always search them by typing the number in the search bar. Since we have only one, so that's going to display. And in the profile, you will see all the profile which is in the system. Now there is 2 methods to select the profile. One, I can search for it by typing my name, Steve, right here. That's my profile that I just created. Or I can, I'm sorry, I think I accidentally closed that. Or I can just scroll all the way to the bottom. The last profile created will be always in the last. So I can select that profile and hit active, save. Once everything is done, I'm going to go back to the system setup, click on the profile. I'm going to search for my profile back again, STEVE. And now, if I click on the details section, you can see this card number is now associated with my profile. And if I go back to the card section and try to search for that card that I enrolled, then the flag becomes assigned since it's assigned to me. So if you're trying to look who this card number is assigned to, you can go back to the access tab and click on the card mapping, and you can type either the profile name if you know or the card number. It will populate you the data. So if I type that card number, it is telling me right here who it is assigned to. That's how you enroll a fob. Three-step process for that. Now, going further deep into the system, since we know you guys gonna have a resident over there who's not gonna have access for the card readers, which is in the office, like the front door or a back door. They will only have access for the gym or a pool on certain timings. We can manage that by going to the groups.
That's gym and pool on certain timings, and then the gate all the time as well, right?
Correct. We can basically define the time profiles and associate it with with the the gym or either the pool or either the gate. I will Let me show you first the labels, what I created for everywhere over there, so you guys can see how the door reflect. So if you go into the system setup and you go to the doors, it will start giving you the name of each door. So on the front gate, I have an access control card which has 4 readers option in that, but we are only using 1 reader over there on the call box, which is labeled as gate. So inside the office, we have a back double door, we have a south side door, we have a front double door, we have a north side door, we have a gym, then we have a pool gate 1, and on the second page, we have a pool gate 2. Anything which is not labeled, there is that many readers are available into the system, and we can add them. And whenever we add the reader, we can just give them a label. So the slots are open in the system. So you have about 3 extra readers you can do on the gate, and you have 1 more reader is available in the office to do it. So these are the labels. Now let's first go over with that automatic task. For example, you have a gate over there, which you want to put it on the timings from, for example, 6 to 5 or whatever the timing you will come across. So right now it's actually following a time zone, not just the gate, a lot of doors. Your office doors also opens on certain time and closes at certain time. As you can see, all these links tells the door to what time to be open and what time to be closed. I'm going to demonstrate an example for you, but I'm not going to save it because it's a live system. If I save it, it will take the impact. So whenever you're building a task for a door or a gate, you click on the plus sign right here. You give your activation date. For example, you want a gym door to be open automatic, like just release without, so the people can go in and out without using their card. You can just from today date till end of this month. So the deactivate date, I will select 31st. You can go up to whatever you want. Right here, you have a full year calendar. You can just keep going and scroll whatever date you want to deactivate. Now it is asking an activation time. For example, I have a scenario that my gym door will be open at 6 a.m. in the morning. So I'm going to select 6 right here. I'm going to select 00 right here. I'm going to select AM. I'm going to hit on anywhere in the empty field and the time will be there. Now I want the gym to be open on Monday, Tuesday, but I don't want to skip Wednesday. I want to put Thursday, Friday, Saturday, but I want to skip Sunday. As an example, this schedule which I'm making for automatic operations will be adapted to which door. Over here, you can just find the label of the door and just select that door. So
Steve,
in my case, yes.
Just to be clear, activate means that it is open, or
It's
activate
open.
means that it's closed and engaged, and deactivate means that it's open and free. Or am
No.
I backwards?
No, it does not mean open or close at all. It just means that this is a date, whatever the time we are building, whatever the function we are building is going to activate on this date, and that function is going to deactivate on that date. The open and close is going to be defined over here. So it's just a date and time stamp that whatever the function we are building, the activation date for that function is what, and the deactivation date. For example, you have an event coming on next week, Monday, and let's say the next week, Monday, the date is next week, Monday, the date is 20th, right? So you want to create a task for 20th, but you want the task to be over on 21st and do not continue on 22nd. So you can use the 20th as an activation date and deactivation is 21st. So in case if you forget to delete the task, it's going to automatically deactivate. Make sense?
Yes, it does.
Okay. So this is just a time and a date stamp that we are providing on these 3 lines. Then the days that we want to skip or select, it's right here. And what door we are making this for is going to be right here. And what we are trying to do, we're trying to open the door, we're trying to control the door, or we're trying to close the door. You guys will be using these three options only in your scenario. So I'm going to go over with all three one by one, but let's understand only the open right now. So we're going to click on door open, and we're going to put the notes over here. Gym. I'm sorry, I think my mouse is not here. So we're going to say gym door open. Actually, I don't think I have any task for the gym door. So I'm going to create that task because it doesn't do anything because nobody's using right now. So I'm going to click save. And as soon as I click save, it should take an impact. It's actually the page is full, so you don't see it over here. I did see a second page got created, and that's my gym door. So this link is telling me from today's date, from 6 a.m., which means it's already passed. It means as soon as I did that, within a 32 seconds to 1 minute, this will enforce. And the gym door will be open. Now, we only have an open command on this link. Now, if we have a timing to close that, we have to create another link. Now, in the close function, we have two options. We're going to click on the plus sign again. We're going to say 15. And the activation date, we're going to deactivate on 31st as the same dates that we selected in the opening. The deactivation time is going to be, let's say, 10 p.m. So I'm going to select 10. I'm going to select 00. Sorry, my mouse is going too fast. Right here. And I'm going to say PM right here. I'm going to click anywhere in the field. It's going to take the time. I'm going to say Monday, Tuesday. I'm going to skip Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I'm going to skip Sunday. So I believe that's the one I made it on the other one as well. So I'm going to adopt back to the gym door. Now I have two options to close this door. I can either choose door controlled or door closed. Now let me tell you the difference between the door controlled and door closed. If I select door control, the door will be closed and people can still access the gym through their fobs. Now, if you select door close, the door will be closed and the people will not be able to access the gym through their fobs. So it's going to be like a forced close. Control means that we are just closing the door. It's not automatically open in the certain timings. It's just controlled. Whoever is coming, they can come in, but we know who's coming and who's going out. Does that make sense?
Makes sense to me. What about you, Angelique, Blanca?
Yeah. Sorry.
Perfect. That's what I want to see that you guys are getting there. So it's my decision what label I will give. I would like to give the label gym door control right here. And I will save this link right here. And as soon as I do that, in the second tab, the second link is created. So the gym will open for this month from today's date from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. It will control by the fobs only. So this will do all the automatic operations on the system. That's how I got somebody get in on Sunday who got stuck. So I made a schedule and it got open and she got in and got her fob and start doing the job. So I'm going to delete this schedule since actually let's leave this right here and let's talk about the groups now. So the groups are used to limit the access of the people to certain readers on certain time. So when we say certain readers and certain time, the time is defined into the time profile and the certain readers are defined into the groups. So I'm going to create the group first, and then I'm going to jump back to the profile, and then I'm going to jump back again to the group to enforce that profile into the user so you guys can understand the step-by-step action. So for example, I'm creating a group. I have to click on the user group right here. I create a group called gym and pool access. To do that, all I need to do is click on the plus sign and give a label. So I'm going to do a sample over here. I'm going to say Clubhouse. I'm going to say, I would like to give a same description so I can understand what this group is for. I'm going to hit save. Now there's a group created with the name Clubhouse. Now we only create a name of the group. We haven't given any configuration in it. To give a configuration to the Clubhouse, I will click on the Clubhouse and it will go into the Clubhouse options. Right now, I don't have any door enrolled. As you can see, all the fields are empty. I can click this plus sign and I can select whatever door I want to give it to the Clubhouse. So for example, I want to give a back double door. I want to give the south door, front door, north door. I know these are the 4 doors. And I would also like to give them a gate. And I will say I can add, before adding it, I can select the lending right here. The lending is the time group, which means always on, like a master key. Any time of a day, they can come in. I'm going to say add the row. As you can see, all the doors and the gates are added and the time profile is given is the lending. If I hit save, this is going to get saved. If I don't hit save, when we're going to revisit the Clubhouse, there's nothing will be there. So I'm not saving right now. We're going to revisit and we're going to save later. So I'm going to go back to the time profile now to show you where the time profile is. So remember, on the time profile, we select the lending. The lending is 24 hours, kind of like 24/7, 365 days a year. So if we need to create a profile of a time which has a limitation that they can only access the doors that we are selecting on certain time to certain time, then we just have to build another time profile. And that can be built by clicking on a plus sign. We already have a time profile ID number 2, so you will jump into number 3. Make sure you cannot put the same number. Otherwise, the both profile will fight with each other, which one to enforce. In the description, I will say Clubhouse. Actually, Clubhouse office hours. All right, link to the time profile number 1, whichever is selected right here. You're gonna have an activation date, just the way we built it before in an automatic task. I'm gonna say this profile I'm making from today, but I'm making it for 1 year. So I'm going to select 2024 March on 15, which is exact 1 year from now. I'm going to select Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. We are closed on Sundays, so there will be nobody in the office. Now we have 3 types of interval. If you have only 1 timings, you can do that, or you can use a second interval in case you want to allow the fob to work on certain doors from 8 in the morning to 12 in the noon, and then you want to skip the 2 hours and you want to start back on 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. So in case of 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. will be settled into the second interval. In our case, we're going to make only 1 profile, so 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. There is no limits on it, so we're gonna enter 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Actually, I'm gonna remove this section so we don't have to put this 0, 0 anymore. You guys are not gonna see an updated new update, but for now, just press 0, 0, 0. We're gonna just throw this value by default. You're gonna hit save. So I have a new profile ID created right here, Clubhouse, which is number 3rd profile, and it has this timings, 8 to 17. Now, if I go back to the user group, which I created Clubhouse, but we didn't hit save, so there's nothing saved. I'm gonna assign some doors to it and the gate. So I'm going to assign the gate. I'm going to assign the double door, side door, front door, not door. These are the office doors only. And I'm going to adopt this to Clubhouse office hours and add all the rows. Now, as you can see, the time profile will be Clubhouse. If I'm going to save this profile, it will give you this message, which means all the functions that we created is got saved into the system. If we revisit the user group and we revisit the Clubhouse, now you can see the values are saved. Now, how we're going to use this group is in the profile. So I'm going to show you the profile that I created, Steve Nazim, earlier today. If I click on the edit, I give them the access of the lending, which is master. I can now give them access to the Clubhouse only and hit save. Now, what this will do, the fob that is assigned to me, 180000111, will be only able to use the fob on the 4 doors of the Clubhouse and the gate on the timings that we assign to them. So that's pretty much it for the grouping. Since we learned how to assign a tag, later on when you guys gonna have a license plate cameras, you're gonna click on the license plate and you're gonna add a license plate number over there. Oh, we have a license plate. Maybe it's a test one that I created. So you're gonna click on a plus sign and you're gonna name the car. In my case, I'm gonna say Ford. Spelled it wrong. Explorer. And then the car number, I will say ABC 123. This is not. It's up to you. You want to put the capital or uppercase or lowercase. This field is not case sensitive, so it doesn't matter if you put the car number with the small ABC or uppercase ABC. And then you're gonna do the same plate into the match column. You're gonna type back the plate again. So, and then you're gonna hit save, and the plate will be populated right here. Ford Explorer, ABC 123, and is not assigned to anybody yet. So just like the card, we assigned the card, but initially it was not assigned to the profile. And we map it later on. We're going to do the same thing with the license plate. We're going to click on the axis. Before we use card and tag mapping, now we're going to use license plate mapping. You're going to click on the license plate right here. We're going to click on the plus sign. We're going to select our license plate. Since we only have one license plate, which is not assigned to anybody, that's the one reflecting. If you have multiple, you have a search option. You can always type anything you like on the field right here, and it will sort. In my case, I'm going to select this. Then I'm going to select my profile. I'm going to type and search my profile. It's Steve Nazim. And then I'm going to keep this active and I'm going to say save. Now, if I revisit the license plate, you can see the flag becomes assigned from the unassigned. It means now this plate is assigned to a profile, which is my profile. As soon as I will pull up on the front gate, it will basically let you in. If you don't have the fob, you don't have to roll down your window. If the camera reads the license plate, it will start opening the gate for you. That's pretty much it for the license plate. Now, a very important feature for the people who's going to maintain this system, who's going to sign the fobs and stuff like that, is the real-time logs. What is real-time logs? Real-time logs is something which is going on right now. So some people are coming into the place, they are getting verified with their usernames. Now, in a long run, when you guys gonna have a UHF readers or license plates in there, you guys will be able to see that into the logs too. For the license plate, we have a separate log table, which is right here, real-time license plate logs. We don't have the license plate reader over there right now, so you don't see anything in it. But we do have our tag readers, which is all the access readers on the doors, which people are going through and they are getting verified. And this is the date and the timestamp. And these are the card numbers for them. So you guys can see the last 20 users who got access in the facility with the real-time logs. If you're trying to, if somebody complains you, hey, I'm swapping the badge and the badge not working, you guys can just hit a real-time logs and see what badge is coming and what it is. Is it why it's unverifying? Is the mistake in the data entry or something? You guys can sort out a lot of issues through this real-time logs right away. Now, if you're looking into the backlog, which is reports of how many people come in or who got access granted or how many times the people got access granted. So you can go to the reports section. You can hit on the card and entry reports right here. It is a specific report, which means an entry report for the cards. Over here, we can select the frequency, which is, I'm going to select from the 1st of this month to the 15th, which is today, about a 15 days time. I'm not exactly sure when I turn on the system, but I'm sure that will reflect some data in it. So now we can do the search to a user profile, or we can select all. Like, for example, if I would like to search how many times Jacob have showed his card, I can select his profile. If I know what fob Jacob carries, I can select that, or if I don't know, I can just select all. In my case, I don't know what he carries, so I'm going to select all, and I'm going to hit on the show reports. Every time Jacob comes into the office, with what fob he have, if he have a multiple fobs, the multiple fob will reflect over here. The property is the lending, name is Jacob Johnson, his phone number is reflecting right here, his email address, his department is office. It means that's what the address is. It's verified, means the door or a gate did open for him, and what time and what date he came in. So that's the log date and time. So just like that, you're gonna whenever you guys gonna go with the license plate readers, you can do the exact same function on that as well. Now, you can also look into the people who are not getting verified. That's called raw logs. So there will be a people who might have given a wrong badge by mistake. It's not coming. They're trying to swap, but they're not getting verified. So if you're looking for a entire log data that I want to see all the verified or unverified logs, you can click on the updated logs and you can click on the card logs over here. All you have to do is select the date. In my case, I'm going to select the 15 days and show report. And it is reflected right here for everybody. So there will be a multiple people. We have 37 page. Later on in a long run, this report is going to become really, really, really heavy, especially because once we're going to get the license plate readers and once we're going to get the UHF windshield readers, there will be a car coming with the tags, like a car wash tags or an easy tag, which is still reading by our system, but it's not letting them go, but still logging all the data. So this data will be populated a lot. So maybe later on, if you click on the show reports, you just give it 20 to 30 seconds to populate the report when the data becomes huge. So, but right now we don't have much data. It right away reflects the report that how many people. We will not see any unauthorized people, I don't think, in this right now, because everybody we have over here is authorized and is verified. We have it. Oh, right here. So Jacob, the fob that your boss, I think, was swapping is this one, most likely, because he came and he swapped his fob and we haven't him enrolled. So at that date on 3/12 this is the fob which came into the system, and it was not in the system, so it got unverified and it's unknown that who. So if you want, I can enroll this on his name.
That would be perfect.
All right.
Jeff Licker.
I'll take a snapshot of this to keep in my records. All right. And that's your raw log data to see who's coming in and who's going out. But you can always see that in and out in the real-time logs as well. So I believe my test user is actually a fob Mr. Sean has given to a contractor, and he's using that. So rest of the fobs are given to the name that is provided to me. That's pretty much it. In your case, guys will be not using the import function because you guys are building the data from the scratch. You don't have any existing database. But for example, you have a property where there is existing database. You like your system a lot. You want to change the system. You have a data on the Excel file. You can use the import function. If you give me a file, we can import the entire data file in one single upload. How are we going to do that? We're going to create a sample file first by clicking on the export. So we can export this data from the system. It's very, very simple to export the data in this system. You just have to click on this export function. This is the entire list of your users right now into the system. It's 2 pages. All I'm going to do is click on the CSV. Now, I like CSV because it's a comma separated value file. It gives you a very neat version of Excel. So when you click that, it automatically downloads the export file for me. If you click on the export file, the file is going to look like exactly like this. It's going to be Excel file with this rows, this columns, first name, last name, contact number, email address, group. The UG is a group number. Since we have everybody on the lending group, that's why the number for the lending group is 1. Whenever we create another group, the number of the group will number 2 and number 3. If you go to the groups, you will see the numbers are right there. So whichever group number they belong to, you just put the number on it and you can upload that bulk Excel data sheet and all the users will be entered into the system automatically. That's pretty much it for the system. If you guys have any questions, I would love to answer them. So if you, so the password, Jacob, I believe you guys didn't see the password change too. So you click over here, you change the password right here. You click here, you change the profile, email address, and everything over here. All right. So on the function that I was trying to show you is a callbox function. This is more like an administration thing. Whoever's going to handle the system, they can always go and check if their box is up and running. Since we do require internet all the time to get the calls going on. And now what happens if the internet goes down? You guys can still swap the badge. The badge is going to work. If there is a PIN code assigned to the system, you guys can still use the PIN code on the touch screen. And you guys can also use your license plate. You guys can also use your windshield tag. The only function will not work when the internet will go out is the call. The call will not dial. Now, we have a last report time. So if you take a look at that field, it says 3:15, which is today, and it's 12:47. It's 12:48 right now. So every 2 minutes to 5 minutes, this call box thing, and it updates its time. So you will, if you see a time which is more than a half an hour delayed, it means you guys lost the internet connectivity on the gate. The internet that we use is your guys' internet. It's coming from your office over there, and it's been transmitted through a point-to-point radio, a wireless radio, and receives on the gate. There could be a power failure on the gate. There could be a power failure on the IT room where it switches our equipment off, or internet will not transmit. So only function will affect with that is the call will not dial. So they cannot dial call into the resident. So the very last feature of the system is the visitor. And in this section, we can create a visitor, give a visitor a PIN number. Usually, like you click on the visitor, you add the visitor name. For example, I'm going to say, all right, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to create you as a visitor. So let me take the snapshot of this so I know what we have. All right, I'm going to create a visitor. We're going to click on the add visitor section right here, and I will explain you why and when we can use this function later on. So we're going to click on the add visitor. We're going to say Jacob. We're going to say mobile number is, if I have your license plate number, I can put it in there. If I don't have your license plate number, I will not put it in there. Email address is must. You have to have an email address on this field. I will explain you why in a little bit. I'm going to say, I'm going to allow you from today till 31st. And I'm going to say submit. I'm going to say active. It's going to be for 24 hours from today till 31st, any time of the day. This will work for you. I'm going to hit save. Your number is right, correct? I'm going to hit save. You will receive a text message in a little bit. If you can read it for us, please. So right away, it will send an auto-generated PIN. The reason we are doing an auto-generated, because if we keep this function to ourselves, we can repeat the PIN accidentally, and that can be a malfunction to the system. So this PIN will be a system-generated PIN. We can set up the frequency on that, and that can work on that frequency. So Jacob, you can actually use that PIN till 31st. If you want to deactivate that, inactive, that's it. And it will inactive the PIN. So you can try this PIN later on to test the system whenever the gate is closed. So you have one PIN. So this is the resident function. Now, I'm not sure you guys bought that module or not. Like, for example, your residents can go from their cell phone to only this function. Their portal will be limited. It will only show them the visitor, and they can allow their visitor through the same way that I did it to the Jacob. They can only see a visitor function. They can add their visitor and then add the time frame and all that and send it to their visitor. When their visitor comes in, they can either enter the PIN code, or if they know their visitor's license plate number already, and we have the license plate in front of your gate, they don't even have to roll down their window. They can just come straight in. The second method for the visitor, they can scroll through the name directory on the main screen. I don't have any picture of the Alfred 360 right now, a screen picture. Otherwise, I could have shown you how the screen looks like. And on that, you have a full directory. And that directory you can scroll down to the names, however you set it up, and just click on the name that will dial the resident phone number, which is in the profile. For example, if I will click on Jacob's name, it will dial on this number. He can answer the call, and all after talking and verifying that he recognized the person who's coming, he just have to press number 9 to open the gate, and the gate will be open. That is the last feature and the function of the system. If you guys have any questions regarding that, please let me know.